Hey guys, it's Zoe. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you want to be updated with videos, subscribe. It's totally free. I hope you guys are excited for this video. I am very excited. It's going to be my top and my favorite foundations for oily skin. Obviously, for those dry skin girls out there, I don't know why you're watching this video, maybe just to get a good recommendation or you just love watching my videos. I do have super oily skin. Sometimes it's combo, but mostly oily, and I know how hard the struggle is to find a very oil controlling and not super gross looking foundation that looks good by the end of the day. And I know that high-end ones are very, very expensive, especially for beginners and teenagers and people who are starting out with makeup and you don't want to spend a bunch of money on foundation. So I will be talking about my favorite drugstore ones that have actually worked for me, so you don't have to waste your money and you can hear what they're like before you go buy them. Obviously, everyone's skin is different and every person is different, so what may work for me and what I love may be horrible for you and you hate it, so that's totally fine. Leave me any recommendations down below that if I don't mention any that you think I would like. So let's get into the video. By far, the one that I just feel wears the best and looks the best with really any type of skin except for maybe extremely dry is this one. This is the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation, and this is in the shade 825 Buff Beige. It's almost gone, but this has a beautiful finish. It's like $7 to $8 at the drugstore. It's one of the best foundations Covergirl has came out with because a lot of their foundations honestly aren't that good, but this one was raved about last year on YouTube, and they call it 3-in-1 because it's the lasting power of a primer, coverage of a concealer, and blendability of a foundation in one, and it's shine free, and it's all day flawless coverage. So this is amazing. It doesn't look like you're wearing foundation, it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't break me out, it doesn't cling to dry patches. I don't have a lot of dry patches, so it would depend on your skin. Medium to full coverage, buildable, looks flawless all day long. Maybe that's why they call it Stay Fabulous. I used a primer and a powder with it and a concealer under the eyes and stuff. The next one in my favorites is kind of a tie, but I'm going to talk about this one first because I know it's a cult favorite from everyone. This is the Revlon Colorstay foundation, and this is the one for combination to oily skin, obviously, and I'm in the shade 150 Buff, and this has SPF 15 and it says 24-hour wear, but it looks like this. It's a little bit light for me, but this is the new formula. I haven't tried the old one, but they do have one for dry to normal skin too, and I love this foundation. I can't believe I'm just now getting on the bandwagon. I'm like way behind here, but it is a little bit more pricey for drugstore, but it's because it's Revlon, but I think it's between $8 to $11. It does stay on. I wouldn't say 24 hours. The finish of it is beautiful. It doesn't exaggerate my pores. I do obviously use it with the primer to make it look better. Any foundation will look better with the primer. But I just set it with like a regular powder and it doesn't look blotchy, it doesn't separate. I found like a lot of foundations will do that. Really good coverage as well. It covers acne, buildable coverage. I would say almost full coverage with one layer, and then depending on your skin you may have to build it up. So next, obviously, I'm going to talk about this. This is the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation 24 hours. I'm in the shade 102 Shell Beige, and it says Demi Matte Finish. So it's not supposed to be completely matte, and let's see, lasting demi matte finish, never dull, never flat. So just looks like this. Again, this is a little bit pricey. I think it's like $11 depending on where you get it. It's just in a squeezy tube. This has pretty good coverage too. It's a little bit more spread out when you put it on your face, but I love how it applies with the Beauty Blender. To me, the Revlon one, like I said, it's kind of like a tie, but to me the Revlon one holds up longer throughout the day, but this does help keep you matte. This is what it's for. I haven't tried it with the powder because that itself is expensive to buy too, but I love the finish. It's not as full coverage, but you don't need a bunch of layers. Very smooth. I feel like it's high quality for drugstore. Next, I'm going to talk about one that I do not have. I will insert a picture of it right here. It is the Covergirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundation, also in a squeezy tube, also by Covergirl. That's another one they came out with right after the Stay Fabulous, and it's a little bit lighter weight. Again, it's oil free. It doesn't claim to be mattifying or anything, but a lot of people like it. It's more for all skin types. Very beautiful, lightweight. You cannot tell that you're wearing foundation with this foundation. And it looks like your skin. It's so pretty, but it still covers. You can build it up, and I haven't heard a lot of complaints about it. It doesn't really do much, which is also kind of good because you don't have any problems with it. It's just there, and it's a basic, everyday, really fresh looking foundation, and I wasn't greasy by the end of the day. The next one I'm going to talk about has been through some controversial things. You either really like it or you hate it. Like, there's not really a in between. It's the Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Mousse Foundation, and this is in the shade 100 Ivory, which is pretty dark for being ivory, and it's lightweight shine control, and it just looks like this, also in a squeezy tube. And back in the day, Rimmel had one that was an actual foundation that was matte and not like this moussey texture. The thing that I like about it is it's super full coverage. It's a mousse, so it covers everything, literally one layer. The thing I don't like about it is blending it out. It's so thick, you kind of have to blend it and then use a beauty blender, because it doesn't really blend, and it does look like you're wearing foundation. It is full coverage, it is heavy. Some people say that it breaks them out, and it does emphasize pores. But the reason I'm still mentioning this is because it keeps you matte, and especially they go hand in hand with the Rimmel powder and the primer. And if you use a really good primer, it should be good. Use a light hand with this. Start off with a little bit and build up, because it can look cakey really fast. It is kind of just harder to work with. Like, for beginners, it's not so easy. It's not beginner friendly. You do have to work with it. You do have to make sure it's even. You do have to, you know, blend it out perfectly. But it is mattifying as soon as you blend it in. I like the feeling. It's a moussey texture. It's full coverage, and it stays in place if you can get it to work for you. I know it's kind of hard. I tried it with the brush too. It's not bad with the brush. So it just depends on your skin. Okay guys, so these last two, they get, again, the most, I would say, controversy. You either hate it beyond hate it, or it's okay, or oh my gosh, I love this foundation. So I'm mentioning in this video because it could work for you, and I've watched so many reviews just to see which one is it. Does it work or does it not work? And it's kind of even. It's in the middle. You knew this one was going to be in this video. It's in every single video. Yeah. So Maybelline Fit Me Matte & Poreless for normal to oily skin. They have the dewy and smooth for normal to dry skin. Now, hence this says normal to oily, not combination, like the Revlon one. That's sometimes the problem, because I don't have normal skin. I have combo to oily. But Matte & Poreless, it does really smooth out the pores. It doesn't emphasize them, especially if you use a primer. It does not sink into them. I love how smooth it looks. I love the consistency of it. I love the coverage of it. When you first put it on, you look amazing. And mine is in the shade 125 Nude Beige. And I love this. It looks flawless. It doesn't have flashback. It's good for photography. It says mattifies and refines pores, matches natural tone, natural seamless finish. And that's its claims. That's the pros about it. It looks amazing. It wears well. Now let's go to the cons. It oxidizes like no other. So yes, this is my shade, but technically it's not my shade, because you'll put it on and then about an hour to 2 to 3 later, you look orange. and you're like, I thought this matched me. So basically, if you want to find your shade, I would say, like, I would probably be the lightest shade, because by the time it oxidizes, it would end up matching me. So I might look pale at first, it would end up matching me. So maybe don't go by your shade, go like 2 to 3 shades lighter. And it doesn't just oxidize like a shade, it oxidizes like a lot. And the next con that a lot of people don't like is it doesn't hold up. Yes, it mattifies you. Yes, it controls oil. Yes, it looks amazing. Yes, it fills in your pores. Yes, when you first put it on, you're in love with it. Yes, it covers great. But after like 4 to 5 hours, it doesn't look so great. So, the reason this is still in this video is because I do love it. I use it when I don't have to have makeup on all day. I really wish this would hold up a little bit longer. I haven't tried it with a high-end primer, so I'm going to do that, and I'll update you in the description box of this video once I do and see. Maybe it just has to be used with a very good mattifying primer. Just don't leave it on too long, because it'll be blotchy, it'll separate. It's really strange, and I know I'm talking bad about this, but it is in this video because I do like it to a certain extent. Okay, that is enough blabbing about foundations for this video. I know there's a lot more. I haven't tried some. If you want me to do a high-end version of this, because I know there's a lot of Holy Grail high-end foundations, let me know. I can also talk about primers as well, because primers and foundations kind of go hand in hand and really help. Powders, etc. I feel like I said the same thing about a lot of them, but obviously that's why they're my favorites and that's why I like them, and I tried to elaborate why I liked that specific one, but any of those would be your best bet. And I hope that you liked that I was honest with some of the cons about the foundations, because yes, I like them, but they're not perfect, and that's just kind of how things are, especially with the drugstore. And so now that I've said the cons, you can know that still if you still want to buy it or if you don't. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.